What's up, you guys? Welcome to the channel. For those that don't know, my name is Alina Smith. I'm a producer and songwriter for projects like ITZY, Red Velvet, Fall Out Boy, Produce 101, and many others. And on this channel, we discuss all things music production and songwriting. So if you're not subscribed yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. All right, guys, I'm really excited about this because today I'm going to be showing you how I co-produced the new song featured in the My Teenage Girl TV show called Surprise. My friend Gisselle and I wrote and produced the song together, I want to say in like August or September of last year, so not that long ago. And it's been pitched around to different artists and projects, and it ended up landing here with My Teenage Girl. And the producers GALACTIKA, who have worked on a lot of ITZY stuff like ITZY, Wannabe, they have taken the song and added a few changes to it to make it perfect for this project. And it just came out today as far as their performance on the show. So I'm actually gonna play you guys a little bit of the song and the performance that these really talented young girls did with it.
감추고 있는 걸 보여줄 테니 close 3, 2, 1, go 아무도 눈치 못 채게 표정을 숨겨보고 face feel like a bad 놀랄 준비 time's up 분위기 반전시키듯 깜짝 놀랄 거야 oh yeah 상상만으로도 난 신나는 걸 어디서든.
So yeah, I'm super stoked to show you guys some of the instrumental stems for this song and talk about how we produced it. So without further ado, let's just jump straight into it. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and just walk through some of these stems with you guys and talk about how the song was created. So as I mentioned, there have been some changes to the song when Team GALACTIKA took it for My Teenage Girl, but it isn't too many. I'm not gonna play you guys the parts that they changed because I don't have those stems. I just have like my original stems, but I will play everything that I do have. So as far as this part, the intro, this is what it goes like.
감추고 있는 걸 보여줄 테니 close 3, 2, 1, go 아무도 눈치.
So this part is pretty much just like it was in the demo. They did shorten it a little bit, but as far as the instrumentation, it's pretty much kind of the same. So we have this synth lead, which my friend Gisselle made. She basically made kind of like a an idea for this song. You know, she started it on her own and she sent it to me, and I was like, oh, I really like this, I want to work on it. So this lead, I'm pretty sure she got this off of Splice. I think that's what she told me. So actually I can see now they've changed the key, but other than that, it's the same. So I remember one thing about this lead, because it was a Splice sample, it actually wasn't in this key. It was kind of like almost in between keys. I remember having to melodyne this to make it like on key. As far as other things, there's this vocal effect going on in here. It's just like a, yeah, I'm almost certain that this is from our LYRE Splice pack, but I'm also not like 100% sure. But yeah, just like a very spacey, yeah. There's nothing else in the intro. It really just focuses on that synth and those like kind of, yeah, you know, chants, kind of vocals. Oh yeah, there's also this thing. Oops, the snare. It's just like a big snare hit to kind of announce like, hey, this is coming, which I think is a really good move. I remember Gisselle made that and I was like, this is really cool. So yeah, as the verse continues, it's still mostly the motif of this synth. There's just a few effects added. I'm trying to find them. Oh yeah, it's these vocal effects. They're just reversed and then they come back in. So I remember just kind of cutting it up because I think she just had them kind of straight. And I was like, oh, it'd be fun to play around with these more. But there's also this little impact. But I'm pretty sure that's kind of it. Yeah, it's just really subtle effects in that synth. Yeah, here you go, little tiny tiny little impact. And then when the second half of the verse comes in is where it like everything drops. It sounds like this. So, and then on the record, it sounds like this. So pretty much the same. We still have the lead, have a few more effects kind of popping in and out. Just, I like a lot of these kind of lasers, risers, bubble kind of effects. I use a lot of these type of effects in K-pop, and so does Gisselle, as you can see. And we have an 808 coming in. I'm pretty sure this is Sublab. Yes, it is. 808 NASCAR. This is like my most popular preset. I use this on like 80% of my records. And it's the second preset in Sublab. It's really good. All I really do is just tweak kind of like the distortion and then the volume release. So, but yeah, this is what it sounds like soloed. Pretty powerful. You know, it's got a nice tube, crunchy kind of distortion on it. I think it's pretty good. Mostly it hangs on the one and just as octaves going up, right? What are we on here? Yeah, G, from G0 to G1, you know, and it has a little bit of a walk down back to the G. So, and then we have a kick coming in, you know, nothing crazy, just kind of following some, I guess it's not really following the 808, it's just kind of adding to it. So we have some more effects coming in. This is almost like a knocking type of effect. I want to see what this sounded like without the plugins added on it. Let's see, what is this? Oh yeah, it's almost like somebody knocking on the door, and then I just kind of spread it wider with center, added Valhalla Verb. You guys know. If you watch this channel, you know my feelings about Valhalla Verb. And then, yeah, we have, what is this? I'm really curious what these stems are. I don't remember now. I remember what this is. So this was, I'm pretty sure Giselle's original bass, and I pitched it up to make it kind of a, more of like a weird effect as opposed to a bass, because I did add the 808. Oh, okay. And then we have this kind of saw bass, really also for just the crunch and the effect, as it's kind of pretty quiet in the mix. And then more effects. Yeah, you know, and that's kind of it. It's really, really simple. It's really more about vocal melodies, you know, the even in the demo we had like big stacks of background harmonies there, you know, really emphasizing these vocals. So they pretty much kept that on the record, that kind of concept. And then we move on to the pre-chorus, which sounds like this. So yeah, this is pretty much the same as well. Even this ad-lib, you know, it literally was in the demo just like that, except it's trying to play it cool in English because we don't speak Korean. But they even kept like the syllable, the word cool and everything. So it's very, very similar. And the way this section is constructed is we have several basses. So we have this low bass. So this is trillion, I'm pretty sure. Just kind of like a little bit of a old school Moog kind of bass. I never know how to pronounce it. Is it a Moog or is it Moog? Let me know in the comments. I really just have never been able to say that like and feel comfortable with how I say it. And then we have another octave of the bass. Really, it's just more like a synth. That doesn't sound like a bass, but together it adds that cut at the top, helps it cut through the mix. So that's a very like important new part that comes in. We do have the snare continue. Oh, I never even talked about this for the previous part, but yeah, there's just there are obviously snares going on, but also just little fills that we made. Yeah, pretty basic stuff, you know, nothing crazy. Yeah, and here on the pre-chorus, we have this classic K-pop type of build-up with claps. I have several things layered. So I have like an organic clap. I like this Splice Pack boots and claps. It's very much like stomps and claps. I think it's meant for country music, pretty sure. And like indie, like Mumford & Sons kind of vibe. And I've used it in K-pop, so Yay. And then we have these really bright claps. I hear a lot of this type of clap, this really tinny clap in K-pop, so that's why I used it. And then we have another one on top that kind of increases in rhythm, starts on 8th notes, 16th notes, 32nd, 64th, and so on. And then we have a bit of a fill right here too. Nice, this kind of snare fill. Yeah, and then we just have some effects, like a riser here. And yeah, we have this kind of woo effect. Yeah, a lot of this hype kind of stuff really, really works for K-pop. So, and then the next section is actually the section that Galactika changed. I really love what they did. I think it's really good. It sounds like this. So the drums are pretty much our drums, but they did change the tonality. So our chorus hung a little bit more on the one, like the root of the key of the song, and they moved it and actually made it more melodic, which I like more now that I hear it in comparison. I will not play you guys the old version. I've kind of learned my lesson with that. I think K-pop labels don't really like when you show previous versions. So I'll just show you guys the drums because those pretty much stayed the same. We have several kicks layered in, really powerful kicks with a lot of low end, with a lot of crunch at the top. We also have stomps. I always find that when you layer like this, listen to the sound. It's like huge. I do really enjoy that. It kind of helps make it feel more epic, and then there's several snares layered. Really big, just helps to kind of have that energy. There's some effects, like these kind of video games effects, which I think is really, really fun because originally the song was called Game Over, and it was all about kind of just like, I'm gonna win in this game of love type of vibe. And they actually kept some of the lyrics, like they even kept like poker face and game over. I know they're using that as well in the pre-chorus. So, but they changed the concept to surprise, which I also really, really like. So yeah, and then we have more sort of effects going on. Foley, for those that don't know, Foley is just basically like objects, life objects. I don't know, like somebody like hitting a hair comb on a table or like stomping on the ground, like I don't know, in the mud, like a lot of those types of things. Like I've even seen like toilet brush, like just life objects. I'm not sure if I'm explaining Foley correctly, but it's really fun to use it in records. I've used a lot of Foley, not just in K-pop, but in like American pop records too. Yeah, and we have some yells, heys, just essential for K-pop. Woo, that's a very common move. I'm pretty sure that's decap from Splice. And yeah, basically that's kind of what I have for the chorus. They, what they added, I really love. It's kind of these big synths. Kind of like big brass hits. I love it. I'm taking notes for sure because, I do have a lot of K-pop cuts, but I still am learning because I am a Western person. So every time I collaborate with Korean producers, I'm always like, what did they do? What did they change? Like, how can I learn from this? So I think I love what they did because they did add a lot of those synths and kind of powerful moments here. And then this section goes like this. This is very similar to what we had, pretty much the same. It's a really light section that's all focused on the vocals. We have this little like kind of messed up sounding little clap, and then more of those same kind of effects. And I had this little, I'm not sure if this was a Gisselle stem, if this was something I made, I don't remember. Yeah, okay, this was one of Giselle's, and I think I just kind of used it as like this pedaling lead underneath their vocals because their vocals were I'm not in the right key. Let's see. Right? So it's a melody that moves quite a bit. So it's nice to have something pedaling on one note. So that was kind of the concept behind that. And this next section I'm super excited about. So this was our big switch up. We actually changed tempos here because we were in 130 BPM. And just for this rap section, we go down to 100. And this is what it sounds like. So it's really quite similar. I want to play... oh yeah, actually I think I have it all here. It was like a special group I made just for this part because I didn't use any of the other sounds. This was all like all of the parts, all the stems in here are all its own thing just for this part, the section. So yeah, it pretty much sounded a lot like it. I think they mixed it a little bit differently. I was going for straight up like 2000s, like Fergalicious, London Bridge, like those types of vibes. And they made it a little bit more modern, which I really, really like. But basically, I think a lot of that was in the mix. Just turning down those giant like stomps that I had in there. Yeah, this kick stomp, this very much reminds me of like Timbaland style production, like early 2000s and mid 2000s. We got this big sub drop going on here. We have a clap coming in on the 2 and the 4. You know, and then we have some just kind of like metallic percussion, which is also reminds me of like Beyonce, Crazy in Love, that era. Oh yeah, I remember. So this loop, when we were trying to figure out what to do for this section, I remember telling Gisselle, I was like, let's do something different. And we were kind of just looking through just drum loops of different tempos to see if anything will feel like, oh, this could be a cool place to take the song. And we heard that and we were like, that. So we kind of used that as base for everything else that we did. And yeah, what else is in here? A little more effects and percussion. We have this kind of like alarm. I think they kept that. I think it's turned way down though in the mix. Let's see. Yeah, it's there. Yeah, here it's just a bit louder. And then I think the most unique section, feature of the section was the saxophone. It was doing this type of thing. Yeah, we just kind of cut up the sample. I'm pretty sure I manually tuned notes of it. It's pretty crazy. Sometimes I'm melodizing these things and sometimes I'm just like manually tuned with autotune. So that's what we did. Yeah, and it kind of continues into this section as well, doing this type of thing. Yeah, you know, and that's kind of pretty much it because then we repeat the pre-chorus, the chorus. Galactika did add this really awesome dance break. I think this is it right here. Oh, I forgot something. Okay, so this section. So I'm hearing some of our stems, but I'm not like 100% certain what they used of ours and what they created themselves. So I can't like show you guys this section. But the interesting part about it is this was our chorus, this melody. But I think hearing what they did now, I really like what they did because now that I compare both versions, this melody as a chorus sounds more Western than what they did. What they did sounds very much K-pop, so I love it. And what I was going to show you is the dance break that they made. You know what it sounds like? Oh, I guarantee you what this is. They took this synth, the synth from the beginning, they sampled it and they played that do this. Because listen to this sound, right? Just the sound itself, like the bend at the top of it. And then if you listen to this section here, that's 100% that synth sample. That's so smart. I'm going to remember that. See, I'm taking notes from them because Galactika are like top producers in Korea. They're very accomplished and clearly really good at what they're doing. So I just made myself a mental note to resample some of my leads and play other leads with them. All right, guys, and yeah, this is how we produced the song. I'm super excited about it. I hope it ends up coming out on Spotify and Apple Music and all of those things. I'm pretty sure it will, but I will keep you guys posted on that if and when it does. So yeah, I hope you guys found this interesting, helpful. If you like more videos like this, give this one a thumbs up so I know to create more of these production walkthrough type of things. And on that note, I'm going to go. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you here next time. Bye.